Imagine standing on a train platform in, like, the pouring rain, you know?
Ah, that is the worst feeling.
Right. And you just received this massive bonus at work. Maybe even, I don't know, a standing ovation from your whole team. So you're riding high. But your train is delayed by an hour, you're soaked, and your phone is just buzzing with this weird text from an ex you haven't spoken to in 2 years.
Yeah, that is quite the mix of emotions right there.
It really is. And you are just so tired. Well, for you, Pisces, this isn't just a random bad day. It is the exact astrological weather hitting you the week of June 29 to July 5, 2026.
It really is a week of extremes.
Exactly. So welcome back to Horoscope TV. And welcome to this episode dedicated entirely to the intuitive, gentle fish of the zodiac. You really, really need to stick with us for this entire conversation today.
You do, because the shifts are huge this week.
Oh, completely. We are looking at a week packed with extreme changes. I mean, we are talking about everything from confusing late-night messages and sudden, shocking career breakthroughs, all the way to finding this deeply spiritual sense of purpose
Yeah.
and a truly soulmate-level romance.
It is a lot to process. The astrological charts for this week show a really huge overarching theme for you, Pisces.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a highly social and spiritually rewarding journey, but it is not a straight line at all. The planetary movements point to a week of basically breaking things down just so you can build them back up.
So we have to look at the tension in the sky to show you how to navigate those tricky speed bumps, right?
Right.
Because the rewards waiting for you at the very end of the week are so worth every bit of the effort.
They absolutely are.
Right, so we are not just skipping to the good parts. We are walking through this week day by day, using the astro charts to prepare you for what is coming, for your love life, your money, your work, and your health.
We have to look closely at how these different planets are sort of pulling on each other.
Exactly. So let's just get right into it. June 29th, the week starts with this massive tug of war. The charts show a really sharp split.
A very sharp split.
On one side, there's this great sense of public success. But on the exact same day, there is just heavy, messy communication chaos behind the scenes. How do those two totally different energies even happen at the same time?
Well, it comes down to two major competing astrological events sharing the same exact sky on June 29th.
Okay, lay it on me.
First, we have a full moon peaking in the sign of Capricorn. And, we know that full moons bring things to a head. They shine a light on what has been growing in the dark for the last 6 months.
Right.
For Pisces, this specific moon lights up your friendship and your community zone. But because it is in Capricorn, which is a very grounded, practical earth sign, this is not just about feeling warm and fuzzy with your friends.
It's more serious.
Yeah, Capricorn likes to build real, lasting structures. It's about results.
Okay, so a Capricorn full moon in the community zone. I know Capricorn is the sign that just loves rules, ambition, and hard work. But Pisces is water, right? Like dreamy, flowing, totally unstructured.
Very unstructured, yes.
So does a Capricorn moon feel a bit too strict for a Pisces? Or does it actually give them something solid to, hold on to?
It is exactly that solid ground you need right now. I mean, Pisces energy can sometimes scatter, right? You end up spreading out too far and caring for too many people without getting anything back.
Oh, that happens to every Pisces I know. They just give and give.
Exactly. So the Capricorn energy acts like a strong bowl to actually hold that water. It brings a very rewarding physical payoff to a group effort. The charts point to a financial reward or the successful wrap-up of a big social event that you helped organize.
Oh, wow. So actual money.
Yes. Your hard work in bringing people together pays off in a very real, touchable way. You actually see the results in your hand.
Is this like organizing a giant neighborhood block party where everyone brings exactly the right amount of food, and at the very end of the night, you realize you actually made money because everyone chipped in so generously?
That is a really good starting point, yeah. But it goes even deeper than just getting your money back. It is about building social trust.
Social trust. Okay.
Right, because Capricorn energy is all about long-term investment. So when you organize that party, you are not just throwing a fun event for a few hours. You are proving your value to the group.
Like showing them you're reliable.
Exactly. People look at you and realize you are the glue holding everyone together. You gain a lot of respect. And that respect translates into material rewards.
That sounds amazing. But then we hit the wall.
We do.
Because while you were getting all this respect and standing strong in that Capricorn energy, the charts show the other side of the tug of war. Mercury goes retrograde on the exact same day.
And here is where the tension really snaps.
Yep.
Mercury rules how we talk, how we travel, and how we organize our daily schedules. When it turns retrograde, from our view on Earth, it looks like the planet is moving backward in its orbit.
And everything just goes haywire.
Entirely. The energy gets entirely scrambled. The flow of information just gets completely clogged up.
We all know the famous Mercury retrograde warnings, right? Like, do not buy a laptop, double check your emails, all that stuff.
Yes, the classics.
But how does this specific retrograde mix with that really solid, successful Capricorn full moon? Are they just fighting each other in the sky?
Well, think of it like they are operating in different rooms of your house.
Okay.
The Capricorn full moon is happening out in the living room where everyone can see you succeeding. The Mercury retrograde is happening in your private office and your bedroom.
Oh, I see.
And this retrograde happens in the sign of Cancer, which is another water sign, which makes it highly emotional for you. So in your daily practical life, you get those minor mix-ups.
The annoying stuff.
Right. The train gets delayed, the alarm fails. At work, an email goes to the completely wrong person.
Yikes.
Yeah, I have to strongly advise checking every single detail at work. The astro charts show this is a terrible time to sign permanent contracts.
Okay, wait, I have to challenge that a little bit.
Go ahead.
If I am feeling totally supported by my community because of the Capricorn full moon and someone offers me a great contract that day, shouldn't I just trust my gut and sign it? Like, why let a minor planet mix-up stop a big opportunity?
Because your gut is currently swimming in cloudy water.
Ah,
Think of Mercury retrograde in an emotional water sign like Cancer as a thick fog rolling in over a lake. You might feel safe because your friends are on the shore cheering for you, but you still cannot see the rocks right in front of your boat.
that is a great analogy.
Thank you. The details in that contract are hidden in the fog. What looks like a great deal on June 29th will look very, very different in a few weeks when the fog finally lifts. You just have to wait it out.
That makes a lot of sense. The fog is hiding the sharp edges. Now, let's talk about the other thing hidden in the fog.
Let's do it.
Because Mercury retrograde in an emotional water sign is just notorious for digging up the past.
Oh, absolutely.
The charts show confusion with a current partner, or maybe hearing from an ex. I mean, we have all been there. You are having a fine day, and suddenly a name you haven't seen in 2 years pops up on your screen.
Just out of nowhere.
Right. So when that ex texts out of the blue to this specific energy, what is the actual mechanism making that happen? Why do they always come back during a retrograde?
Well, it is not a coincidence at all. Mercury rules the mind and memory. When its forward momentum stops and reverses, our mental energy naturally drifts backward to unresolved issues.
So they're literally thinking backward.
Exactly. For an ex, especially during a Cancer retrograde, they are feeling incredibly nostalgic. Cancer rules the home, the past, and our deepest need for comfort.
Okay.
They are reaching out because they feel emotionally untethered, and they remember you, a sweet, comforting Pisces, as a safe harbor.
So they aren't reaching out because they have changed or because they suddenly realized, I am the love of their life. They are reaching out because they are lonely and just want my comfortable energy.
In most cases under this specific chart, yes.
Oh, wow.
It is a test of your boundaries. You might read their text, and maybe it says something super vague like thinking of you, and your Pisces intuition immediately wants to heal them.
Of course it does.
You want to rush in and offer comfort, but because of the scrambled communication, you will read way more into it than they actually mean.
So my dreamy Pisces brain will think, oh, they are ready to apologize and commit, when really they're just, bored on a rainy Tuesday.
That is exactly the danger here. Clear communication is almost impossible right now. So the best advice is literally to put the phone down. Do not react.
Just ignore it.
Yes. And if you have a current partner, the exact same rule applies. If your partner says something that sounds critical or weird, your first instinct might be to get deeply hurt.
Right, because Pisces feels everything so strongly.
Exactly. Instead of reacting to the hurt, you have to stop and ask them, can you explain what you meant by that? The mix-ups are brief, but the arguments caused by jumping to conclusions can cause real, lasting damage.
I see the picture clearly now. You are celebrating a big win with your friends. You are feeling strong and grounded, but your train ride is a mess, your inbox is a disaster, and your ex is poking at your emotional boundaries.
That is the tug of war.
Enjoy the wins, but keep your hands in your pockets when it comes to old relationships and new contracts.
You have to let the public success feed you and let the private confusion just roll off your back without fighting it.
Which brings us to the very next day, June 30th. And, looking at the astro data here, the whole mood changes.
It's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, the heavy, foggy feeling from the 29th seems to burn off, And we get this massive wave of bright energy hitting the parts of life that are usually a total grind.
We see a major planetary shift that completely changes the background music of your life. Jupiter enters the sign of Leo.
Jupiter and Leo. Okay.
Yeah, Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system, and in astrology, it is the great amplifier. It expands absolutely everything it touches. It brings luck, growth, and a sense of endless possibility.
And it is moving into Leo. Now, we know Leo is a fire sign ruled by the sun. It is loud, it is proud, it loves the spotlight, and it loves to play.
Very much so.
How does that loud, flashy fire energy affect a quiet, deep water sign like Pisces? Don't fire and water just make a bunch of confusing steam.
They can, but we have to look at exactly where this fire is burning in your specific chart. For Pisces, Jupiter in Leo shines its bright, warm light directly into your house of daily routines, health, and the workplace environment.
Okay, so it's focused.
Right. It is not asking you to get on a stage and perform, which might make a Pisces really uncomfortable.
Right.
Instead, it is bringing Leo's sense of joy and playfulness into the most boring parts of your everyday life.
Wait. You're telling me that a planet moving into a fire sign is magically going to make me want to answer emails, organize spreadsheets, and do my laundry? That sounds a bit too good to be true. What is the actual psychological mechanism happening here? How does Leo make chores fun?
Well, it changes the reward center in your brain. Usually, you do chores or go to work out of obligation. You do it because you have to pay the bills or because you know you should exercise to stay healthy.
Yeah, it's just stuff you have to do.
And that is heavy, dragging energy. Leo, on the other hand, brings the energy of a child at play. When Jupiter expands that Leo energy in your daily routine, you stop looking at tasks as burdens.
So what do they look like?
You start looking at them as opportunities to express yourself. You find yourself highly motivated to take on new tasks simply because you want to see if you can do them.
I think I get it.
Yeah.
It is the difference between cooking dinner because you have to eat and cooking dinner because you suddenly want to experiment with a crazy new recipe just to see how it tastes.
Exactly.
The action is the exact same. You are still cooking.
Yeah.
But the intention goes from a chore to a game.
That is a perfect way to explain it. And that shift in intention changes your workplace completely. You'll find yourself actually wanting to help your coworkers. The heavy feeling of the daily grind just lifts.
That sounds so refreshing.
It is. And the charts point to a very strong money connection here, too. When you bring that joyful, playful energy to your work, people notice. Your boss notices.
Oh, for sure.
By simply working hard and staying organized under this bright energy, new paths to wealth will open up. You do not need to take wild gambles. The luck flows to you naturally because your positive energy makes you a magnet for good opportunities.
And this playfulness hits your physical health too, right? I mean, the Astro data shows a huge health upgrade. I know so many people who just dread working out. They stare at the treadmill and just sigh. Does Jupiter in Leo change that?
Radically. Leo rules the heart and the spine, but it also rules joyful physical expression. The planetary energy actually makes your body crave movement.
Really, like actually want to move?
Yes. It is not about forcing yourself to do a punishing workout in a dark gym. It is about finding exercise that feels like play.
So instead of forcing yourself to lift weights while staring at a blank wall, you might suddenly feel the urge to join a local dance class or go roller skating in the park or try rock climbing, something where your body is moving, but your brain is just having a great time.
The joy is the absolute requirement right now. If you hate the exercise you are doing, the Jupiter luck will not activate.
That is so interesting.
You have to find the fun. When you make your daily tasks and your physical health joyful, Jupiter rewards you with vitality and financial luck. It is a beautiful period of growth as long as you keep things light.
Okay, so June 30th is all about riding the wave of fun. You are dancing through your chores and finding money just by being helpful.
Exactly.
But we need to keep moving through the charts because the week does not stay light and easy. We hit the middle of the week, July 2nd, and the astro charts show the universe stepping on the brakes.
Hard, very hard.
I'm looking at a lot of red flags here. This looked like a serious test of boundaries.
July 2nd is definitely a massive speed bump. The high, playful energy hits a solid wall of reality. We see several difficult alignments happening all at once.
So what's the first one?
Let's break down the roadblocks one by one. The first is a sudden wave of career doubt. Mars forms a square with the true node right in your sign of Pisces.
Okay, let's analyze that carefully. We know Mars is the planet of aggression, action, and pushing forward. And a square is an angle in the sky that causes friction and tension. Two planets are essentially fighting for control.
Yes.
But what exactly is the true node, and why does a square from Mars make me doubt my entire career?
So, the true node is not a planet. It is a mathematical point in the sky that represents your ultimate life path, your destiny, and the lessons you are meant to learn in this lifetime.
Okay, your destiny point.
Right. When aggressive Mars forms a harsh square to your destiny point, it creates intense internal friction. Your desire to take immediate action, which is Mars, is suddenly totally out of step with your long-term path.
So you just feel stuck.
More than stuck, you panic. You wake up on July 2nd, you look at your job and you think, what am I doing? Is this really where I am supposed to be? Am I wasting my life?
That is such an unsettling feeling, especially after you just had so much fun at work on the 30th. Why the sudden crash?
Because Mars is demanding immediate results, and the true node is a slow, lifelong journey. The friction makes you feel like you are way behind schedule,
That makes sense.
but I need to assure you this doubt is short-lived. It is just the planetary weather passing over you. Do not quit your job on July 2nd just because you feel a sudden panic about your destiny.
Good advice. Just ride out the panic. Do not send that resignation email.
Exactly.
But right next to that career panic, we have a major warning about money. The charts show Jupiter squares Chiron. We just talked about Jupiter being the big planet of luck and expansion. But what happens when it squares Chiron? I know Chiron is often called the wounded healer.
Chiron represents our deepest unhealed wounds. It points to the painful lessons we carry with us. When Jupiter, the planet that makes everything bigger, forms a tense square with Chiron, it acts like a giant magnifying glass, focusing directly on your past traumas.
Oh, no.
Yes. And specifically for this week, it focuses on your financial boundaries. This alignment is a strict test from the universe to see if you will repeat a past mistake.
Okay, so let's play this out. If I am a Pisces, and 3 years ago I lent a friend $1,000, and they never paid me back, and it completely destroyed our friendship, does this square mean another friend is going to come asking for cash today?
It is highly likely the universe will present you with a situation that completely mirrors your past wound.
Like a test.
Exactly. A friend might ask for $20, or a family member might ask you to co-sign a car loan. Your natural Pisces empathy will instantly want to help them. You will feel that intense urge to sacrifice your own security to fix their problem.
Because that's what Pisces does.
Right, but the tension of the square is screaming at you to stop.
This is where it gets really hard for a water sign. Because saying no feels like a failure of empathy to them. How does a Pisces say no without feeling like a bad person?
By understanding that holding a boundary is actually an act of love.
Oh, I like that.
If you lend the money, you will resent them, and the relationship will break anyway. The universe is watching to see if you have finally learned how to protect yourself. The answer on July 2nd must be a firm, solid no. You cannot buy someone else's stability at the cost of your own peace.
Wow. That is a heavy lesson. And it gets even heavier, because while you are doubting your career and awkwardly refusing to give your buddy cash, your body is also crashing.
It is a lot to handle physically.
The astro data points to something called a malefic besieged transit today. Let's analyze this. Besieged basically means being surrounded by enemies, right? What does this mean for health?
In astrology, being besieged means a planet is stuck right in the middle of two heavy, challenging planets, usually Mars and Saturn. It is like being trapped in a really narrow hallway with the walls closing in on you.
That sounds awful.
For your health, this translates to a feeling of being totally stuck in the mud. Your energy levels drop to absolute zero. You might feel a heavy, unexplainable exhaustion. Your body is physically reacting to all the cosmic tension.
So no joyful roller skating today?
Absolutely not. This is not the day to push through the pain or drink 3 cups of coffee to force yourself to work.
Just skip the gym.
If you try to force action during a besieged transit, you'll just burn yourself out completely or even injure yourself. You must rest. Be incredibly gentle with your body and your expectations today.
All right, so July 2nd is a gauntlet. You're questioning your life choices, you're tired, and you have to set hard boundaries. But I am looking at the charts, and hiding right in the middle of this swamp of bad energy, there's this totally unexpected spark.
Yes, there's a silver lining.
Venus trines Lilith. We know a trine is a smooth, easy flow of energy. Venus is love and beauty. But Lilith is a wild card.
Lilith represents a very raw, wild, unpolished, and magnetic edge. It is the part of us that refuses to conform. When smooth, romantic Venus flows easily into wild Lilith, it creates an incredibly passionate, deeply magnetic energy in your everyday interactions.
But how does that actually play out if I am exhausted and barely leaving the house? The charts suggest that if you are single, you could meet someone amazing just doing normal, boring things.
That is exactly how it plays out.
So picture this. I am in sweatpants. I haven't washed my hair. I am doubting my career. I am grumpy about saying no to my friend, and I drag myself to the grocery store to buy paper towels. Am I really going to meet my soulmate standing in the checkout line looking like a total mess?
It sounds strange, but yes, and the reason why is fascinating.
I am all ears.
When you are that exhausted, your ego is completely turned off. You have no energy left to put on a mask or pretend to be someone you are not. You are just purely, authentically yourself.
Because you're too tired to care.
Exactly. And that raw, unbothered authenticity is exactly what the Venus-Lilith trine uses to create attraction. You are not trying to impress anyone, and that lack of effort makes you incredibly magnetic. The person you attract under this energy is not looking for a polished, fake version of you. They are drawn to your real, wild core.
That completely flips the idea of romance on its head.
Mhm.
We always think we have to dress up and be perfect to find love, but the charts are saying the universe actually uses our exhaustion to strip away the fake stuff so real love can find us in the paper towel aisle.
The universe forces you to slow down so you can finally notice the magic hiding in normal, everyday moments. If you were busy running around trying to fix everyone's problems and chasing your career, you would never even see the person standing next to you at the store.
I love the mechanics of that. It is so clever. So, the game plan for July 2nd. Let the career panic pass. Keep your wallet closed. Take a nap. And do not be afraid to run errands in your sweatpants.
Surrender to the slowdown. That is the only way through the 2nd of July.
Good. Because you are going to need all the rest you can get for what happens just 2 days later. We move to July 4th, and the quiet exhaustion of the 2nd is completely blown away.
Things speed up very quickly.
The charts show sudden, explosive energy.
Yeah.
We are talking about major fireworks, and I don't mean the kind you watch in the sky.
The astrological weather on July 4th is incredibly loud and highly volatile. We are looking at Mars and Uranus joining together in a conjunction.
And a conjunction means they're right on top of each other, right?
So, conjunction means two planets are occupying the exact same degree in the zodiac. Their energies don't just mix, they fuse together and become one giant force.
Mars is our planet of heat, action, and war. Uranus is the planet of sudden shocks, rebellion, and lightning strikes. Fusing those two together sounds like dropping a match into a fireworks factory.
It is an electrical storm. And for Pisces, the sudden explosion of energy hits your life in two very distinct opposite ways.
Okay, let's start with the good news.
Let's start with a positive explosion. In your career, this conjunction acts like a massive jumpstart to your brain. A complex problem at work that has had you stuck for weeks suddenly makes perfect, crystal clear sense.
Like a light bulb going off.
You get a flash of genius. This brilliant fix pushes you forward toward total professional success. It is not a slow climb. It is an instant breakthrough.
That is the kind of shock we like. The sudden moment that makes you look like a hero at the office. But Uranus is chaotic. It doesn't just give you a work breakthrough and then politely go to sleep. The charts show this exact same electrical storm hitting your home life too.
Uranus rules disruptions. So, the moment you get home, riding high on your brilliant career solution, you are likely to be hit with a sudden surprise expense for the home.
Right. Your brain is firing on all cylinders, but your water heater suddenly bursts, or your car needs a massive repair, or the roof starts leaking out of nowhere. It is a shock to the system and your wallet.
It is disruptive, yes, but the physical repairs to your home are actually the easy part of this transit. The real danger on July 4th comes from the people around you. I'm looking at a massive red flag in the astro data regarding the sign of Gemini. If you are a Pisces, you need to be very, very careful around Gemini energy today.
I saw that warning too. The charts are practically flashing red. Why is Gemini so tough for Pisces to handle during this specific Mars-Uranus explosion?
It is all about how different signs handle electrical, chaotic energy. This explosive Mars and Uranus conjunction is actually happening in the sign of Gemini.
Oh, sure.
Gemini is an air sign. It is already fast-moving, chatty, restless, and deeply mental. When you pump Mars and Uranus into Gemini, it becomes a tornado of nervous energy and racing thoughts.
And Pisces hates a tornado.
Exactly.
Huh.
For a Pisces who needs calm waters to feel safe, a Gemini partner or family member will bring way too much mental chaos right into your private sanctuary.
So imagine you just dealt with a burst water heater, you're trying to relax, and your Gemini partner comes in talking a mile a minute. analyzing every little thing, pacing around the room, and bringing all this loud, frantic energy into the house.
And it won't just be pacing. It will turn into loud, sudden arguments. Remember the lingering tension from July 2nd when Mars squared the node?
Yes, the boundary testing.
That tension is still in the air. Because of that, it will be absolutely impossible for you and a Gemini to agree on basic emotional needs today. When a Gemini gets stressed, they detach from their emotions and try to debate everything with cold logic.
Which is the worst thing for a Pisces.
For a highly sensitive water sign like Pisces, that cold, detached debate feels like a cruel attack.
Because Pisces wants to feel the problem, and Gemini wants to analyze the problem like a math equation. And we cannot forget that Mercury is still retrograde.
We can't.
The planet of communication is still moving backward in Cancer. So the Gemini is talking incredibly fast, but their words are completely scrambled and confusing.
It is a recipe for disaster. The Gemini will throw out a dozen different confusing points, your feelings will get deeply hurt, and the argument will spiral out of control. The clear advice from the charts is simple. Do not engage. Stay away from their confusing words.
But how does a Pisces actually do that? If a Gemini is standing in your kitchen trying to drag you into a chaotic debate about the brick and water heater, how do you protect your peace without making them even more angry?
You have to remember your nature. You are the sign of the fishes. You have the ability to simply swim away to deeper, quieter waters.
Just leave the room.
When the Gemini starts spinning up the storm, you refuse to stand in the wind. You do not try to out-argue them. You simply say, I hear you, but I need quiet right now. And you walk into another room. Let them have their restless energy, but do not absorb it.
That's a great tactic.
Focus your mind back on that brilliant career breakthrough you had earlier. Let the work victory be your shield against the home chaos.
I think that is brilliant advice. Swim to the bottom of the ocean where it is quiet. Let the storm rage on the surface. And it is so crucial that you protect your energy on the 4th because you want your heart to be completely open for the grand finale of the week.
You really do.
We have reached July 5th. And looking at the charts, this day is the ultimate reward for surviving the week. The heavy, chaotic energy is gone, and what is left is the most beautiful, healing, and romantic energy of the entire year.
July 5th is a spectacular day for Pisces. The sky lines up in perfect harmony. We see Mars forming a beautiful sextile with Neptune.
Neptune is your ruling planet, right?
Yes, it is the planet of dreams, spirituality, and boundless love. And this connection is happening right in your home sign of Pisces.
Let's analyze a sextile. We know it brings opportunity and flow. But combining Mars, the planet of war and heat, with Neptune, the planet of dreams and mist, seems like a contradiction. Doesn't the heat of Mars just burn away the gentle mist of Neptune? How does this flow actually work without destroying the peace?
It works because the sextile angle creates an alliance, not a battle. Instead of Mars burning Neptune, Mars lends its strength and drive to Neptune's dreams.
Oh, I like that image.
Think of Neptune as a beautiful grand sailboat, and Mars as the strong, steady wind filling the sails. Mars gives your spiritual intuition the power to actually move forward. For your physical health and mental well-being, this brings a wonderful rushing wave of creative inspiration.
So instead of just daydreaming about a creative project, Mars gives you the energy to actually sit down and paint, or write, or build it.
You find deep spiritual clarity and a sudden, profound understanding of your true life purpose. It is the ultimate relief after the heavy career doubts you suffered on July 2nd. It brings deep spiritual peace, completely erases all your inner stress, and helps your physical body feel wonderfully renewed and strong.
So the exhaustion is just gone.
The exhaustion from the besieged transit is washed away entirely.
And the blessings just keep coming. The astrodata points to a major money aspect hitting today too. Mars forms a trine with Pluto. We know trines are the easiest, luckiest flow of energy. What happens when action-oriented Mars teams up with Pluto?
Pluto is the planet of deep, hidden power, transformation, and ultimate wealth. When Mars trines Pluto, it gives you extreme laser-like focus. You are no longer easily distracted by small things.
You see the big picture?
This is the kind of sharp, powerful focus required to build long-lasting financial security. You are not just making a quick dollar today. You are laying down the heavy stone foundations for true, lasting wealth. You see exactly what you need to do to secure your future, and you have the endless drive to do it.
That is incredibly empowering. But let's shift gears, because while the money is great, I want to unpack the romance for today. The charts clearly state this is the absolute peak of romance for the entire week. How does this Mars and Neptune connection create magic in love?
That steady wind in the sails we talked about. It also applies to your heart. It creates a deeply emotional, dreamy, and highly magical atmosphere.
Sounds so romantic.
This is not the wild, unpolished grocery store attraction of July 2nd. This is deep soul-level connection. It is the perfect day to connect with a lover on a purely spiritual plane. It is about feeling completely and utterly understood by another human being without having to explain yourself.
And that brings us to the absolute best match for you this week. We talked about running away from Gemini, but the sign you definitely want to pull close right now is Cancer.
Absolutely.
Why is Cancer the absolute perfect partner for Pisces to share this magical July 5th energy?
If we trace the planetary movements back, it all connects to the events of June 29th. On that very first day, Mercury went retrograde in the sign of Cancer, and the full moon peaked in Capricorn, directly affecting the water and earth balance.
Right, the tug-of-war day.
That created a shared, deeply emotional background for both Pisces and Cancer. You both have been swimming in the same intuitive waters all week.
Because you're both water signs, you both process the world through feeling first.
You speak the same silent language of emotion. So on July 5th, when you are riding this beautiful wave of creative and spiritual inspiration, a Cancer partner will support it completely.
They won't judge you for it.
They do not look at you and think you are being too dreamy or impractical the way an air sign or an earth sign might. They know exactly how to nurture your dreams. They build a shell of protection around you. They make you feel incredibly safe when the outside world gets too chaotic.
It sounds like finally washing up on a calm, quiet beach after a week of riding terrifying, crazy waves. Cancer is like a warm, cozy blanket waiting for you on the sand. A Gemini wants to talk about the storm and analyze the waves. A Cancer just wants to wrap you in the blanket and hold space for you to feel safe again.
That is a beautiful way to analyze it. This connection with a Cancer brings deep emotional healing, profound inner peace, and a beautiful sense of belonging. It is the reward for navigating a very difficult, very busy astrological week.
A true sense of belonging. That really is the ultimate goal for a Pisces, isn't it? Knowing you have a safe harbor where you don't have to explain your heart. Okay, before we wrap up our analysis of the charts, we need to gather the practical tools you need to carry with you this week. We call this the Pisces Weekly Toolkit.
Yes, let's go over the specifics.
So let's look at the key details. First up, your color of the week. It is sea green, which, let's be honest, is almost too obvious for you. You are the fish of the zodiac. Of course, you need to wear the colors of the ocean.
It might be obvious, but it is incredibly effective. Wearing or surrounding yourself with sea green visually connects you to your natural element. It provides a subconscious anchor for emotional stability.
Next, your lucky numbers for the week. You want to look out for 12, 20, 27, 35, 49, and 60. And a quick recap of your best dates to take big actions or expect the best energy, June 29th and July 5th. Now, how should someone actually use these tools? Is it just about buying a lottery ticket with these numbers?
No, it is a psychological technique. It is a way to mentally anchor yourself to the positive aspects of the astrological charts.
So like a reminder.
Exactly. When things get chaotic like during that heavy besieged transit on July 2nd, or when a Gemini is trying to start a loud argument about a broken water heater on July 4th, noticing one of your lucky numbers on a clock or a license plate, or looking down at your sea green shirt, acts as a circuit breaker.
Oh, that's smart.
It pulls your focus away from the panic and reminds you that you are supported by a larger cosmic pattern. It grounds you in the present moment.
It breaks the panic loop. It is like a little secret nod from the universe reminding you that you are going to be okay. Well, we have covered an incredible amount of ground today. From the messy, foggy mix-ups of the retrograde to the absolute soul-deep healing of that final Sunday.
It is a week of extreme contrast pulling you down just to shoot you higher. And I want to leave you with one final thing to think about as you navigate these days.
Lay it on us.
If this week is truly all about clearing out past mistakes, like finally learning to set firm boundaries with your money and dodging toxic communication, and ultimately discovering your true spiritual purpose. Wait, I shouldn't say that. If this week is all about discovering your spiritual purpose, what does your life look like next week when you no longer have to carry the weight of doubting your own power?
That is huge.
If the universe is actively clearing all the garbage off your path, how fast are you willing to run when the road is completely open?
Oh, that is such a powerful thought to leave on. How fast are you willing to run when the roadblocks are finally gone? You will have to let us know, Pisces. Thank you so much for spending your time with us today, and thank you for listening to this episode on Horoscope TV. We love exploring these charts with you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button right now so you can get notified the very moment the next episode is available. Until then, keep your wallet closed on Thursday, stay out of the chaotic arguments, and embrace that beautiful spiritual wave on Sunday. We will see you next time.